Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm in Onomichi. As you can probably see, it's a beautiful day, but as you can probably hear, the wind is really strong. There's a wind that blows at this time of year in Japan called Haruichiban. It's the first warm breeze of spring, and I don't know, but I wonder if the wind that's blowing today could be Haruichiban. If so, it's making photography a little bit difficult, but if it brings the beginning of spring, I suppose it's welcome. Anyway, just in front of Onomichi Station is this channel. It's called Onomichi City, and it's the sea. So just over there is an island, Mukaishima. This channel normally has quite a fast flow just because it's relatively narrow, but I don't think I've ever seen it flowing as fast as it is today. I've just been watching one of the little ferry boats that go across to the far side of the channel, and the difference between them going one way and going the other way, just because of the flow of the tide, is incredible. One of the things I want to do today is to go to the observation point just at the top of that hill. Now, of course, you can walk up. It's about a 30-minute walk. It's not that bad. But there's actually a bus that goes almost to the top of the hill. So I think now I need to head back to the railway station. It's only just behind me. And find the bus. Okay, so I got the bus to the hospital, and I'm just at the start of the track that goes up to the observation point. So I'm going to walk up there now. It's a long time since I've been up here, but I seem to remember it's about a 15-minute walk. Anyway, let's go and see what we can find. So if you're coming by car, this is about as far as you can get. I'm at the first observation point now, and from here there's a wonderful view all the way out across Matsunaga Bay. But the view from the second observation point is much, much better. So I'm going to head up there now. The last part of the trek, it's not really a trek, but the last part of the path is really a path. You have to just walk through the woods, and it's a little bit steeper. But the view is definitely worth it, especially on a cloudless day like today. here I am at the second observation point, and this is the same view as just before, out over Matsunaga Bay. The path actually wasn't as steep as I'd remembered. It was still steep enough though. Anyway, a pretty good view. However, the view looking east out over Matsunaga Bay doesn't even begin to compare to the view looking west. So we can see all the way down Onomichi City and out towards Mihara and the islands that you can see. It's incredibly windy, but it's a spectacular view. Okay, I think it's time to head back down. It would have been nice to have stayed up at the top for a little bit longer, but to be honest, the wind was so strong that taking any sort of video was almost impossible. You may have seen as I was walking up to the observation point that there was a small temple just beneath the summit of the hill, and I did manage to take a time lapse from there, so I will show it to you now if it's any good. If there's no video at this point, you'll know it didn't turn out very well. I don't know if you can hear, but there's somebody practicing a trumpet or something on the hill. I have to say, if I was going to practice a trumpet, I'd probably practice it there. It's a good place to practice. It's a spectacular view. I do think that the wind today has been Haru Ichiban, which means the first of spring. In other words, the first warm wind of spring. It really has been strong, very strong. In fact, I nearly lost my hat. But at the same time, it's not been cold at all. It feels almost as if the cherry blossoms could already be out. And of course, it won't be much more than a month until they are out. It looked like around the observation point at the top of the hill, there were quite a few cherry trees. So I'm sure it'll be much busier at that point in the season than it was today, but nevertheless, it might be worth braving the crowds to come back up and take a few more photographs in a month or so. By the way, speaking of hats, in case you were wondering, which you probably weren't, this is a Hiroshima Carp hat. Hiroshima Carp is the baseball team in Hiroshima, and in this prefecture, Hiroshima Carp is close to a religion. So what it means is that if you wear a carp cap, it opens doors. Not literally, of course, but people will talk to you if you're wearing a carp cap. It's like a friend passport or something. While I was up at the little temple just beneath the summit of the hill, an old man and woman came walking their dog. And as soon as they saw that I'd got a carp cap on, they started chatting. We had a nice 5-minute chat. And I'm sure if I hadn't had this cap on, we would just have passed each other, maybe nodded, but we wouldn't have stood there talking for 5 minutes. So this cap is almost magic, really. It's a great cap to be wearing. I have to say I'm not that interested in baseball though, even Hiroshima Carp. speaking of cherry blossoms, these aren't, but they are plum blossoms, and just by the road as I'm walking down the hillside, they're very beautiful. And just as with the blossoms in Shikaen last week, the scent is wonderful. Anyway, here I am back at the bus stop. I hope you enjoyed that little hike up to the observation point with me. It would have been nice to have been able to stop until sunset, but with the wind as it was, it didn't seem like a very good idea. Having said that, the wind has now dropped to completely nothing. I suppose you win some, you lose some. And in any case, there'll be chances to go back up to the viewing point at some point in the future. Possibly, as I said, when the cherry blossoms are in bloom. Anyway, I'm going to finish this video here, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in another video fairly soon. Anyway, bye for now.